Hello, welcome back to another episode of Halftime TV. Noranda Brown here, your host. And today we'll be doing a preview of the Euro 2020 competition, which is slated to commence at the weekend. Now, going into the Euros, there are some marquee favorites that we are expecting to do well. However, there are also some teams that generally come with a surprise. The last time Wales were the surprise package. This time around, who knows? It could be Scotland, it could be Finland. That's the beauty of the UEFA Europa League. And I'll just take this opportunity to dissect the various teams in the different groups. I'll leave it at the group stage, really, because I have my preference who I think will go all the way. So I'll just go through the teams in the group stage who I expect to do well and to give a proper account of themselves. If you haven't done so as yet, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 500 subscribers as soon as possible. Thanks to my sponsors, Quicklink Shipping. Follow them on Instagram at Quicklink Shipping or email them at quicklinkshipping@gmail.com. RS Sports Store for all your sporting apparel. Check out RS Sports Store on Instagram at RS Sports Store. CSA Shop, be free, be confident. Follow them on Instagram at CSA Shop or email them at csashop@aol.com. Now let's get straight to it. Now, Group A consists of Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. As I mentioned earlier, last time around, Wales were the surprise package. They created a massive upset for Belgium. One Robson Kanu had the competition of his life, and if they are to go the full length or to even make it into the semis or in the quarterfinals this time around, they will need a spectacular performance from one of the individuals on that team. Gareth Bale, he had a good back end of the season at Tottenham Hotspur, and he will be looking to continue that form over into the Euro. There's rumor that he will be calling quits on his career come the end of his contract at Real Madrid. However, he fully put water to that fire, nullifying any claim of that. We know Carlo Ancelotti is back at Real Madrid, and who knows, maybe he and Gareth Bale can strike up a relationship that will, in the end, rejuvenate his career. He's currently on $600,000 a week at Real Madrid, but hasn't been playing that much, and as such, he was loaned out to Tottenham Hotspur for the last season. Now, Wales, Gareth Bale is definitely their main man. We have Turkey in that group as well. Hakan Kanaglu, who plays for AC Milan. He's one of the most prolific and visionary midfielders currently playing the game. I think he's just about 26, 27. There's also Sayonchu, the Leicester City defender, who is impeccable at the back as well. He's really good in the air, and he brings that bit of leadership. So I think going into the Euros, Switzerland will be looking to Kanaglu and Sayonchu. Turkey, will be looking to Kanaglu and Sayonchu, because these two individuals will more than likely be the ones to lead them to the next round if they are to progress. Moving on, I think Switzerland, they've always had good teams. They have Granit Xhaka. I know a lot of persons aren't fond of him. They also have Xherdan Shaqiri, who has proven time and time again the quality player he is. He's played for some of the biggest clubs across Europe. Good afternoon, Anthony Myrie. Thanks for joining us. I'm just doing a quick overview of the Euro 2020 competition. As I said, Xherdan Shaqiri, he is a class act. Sad it's not going his way at Liverpool currently as things stand, but definitely a top player, and in competitions as we saw in the World Cup, he shows up. And when he shows up, and on his day, he is unplayable. So Switzerland is the other team. The favorite to progress from this group, however, is Italy. Now, Italy is currently on a 27-game unbeaten run. In that span of games, they've scored just over 70 goals, and they've conceded, I think, 7 or 8, which means they're solid at the back as well as going forward. We didn't see them in the last World Cup, which is very, very sad. But I think Italy, they have a point to prove. They have a very, very good manager in Roberto Mancini. He proved himself at Manchester City. He's very, very humble. He chooses his players wisely. And I think youngsters like Chiesa coming into the team, Bernadeschi. These are players that we will be expecting to do well. As things stand now, Italy has one of the most lethal front three going into the Euros. We're talking about Insigne, we're talking about Immobile. These are remarkable players, and add Chiesa to that, and we will definitely have something to look forward to. There's also Belotti who plies his trade at Torino. He's a lethal finisher, a workhorse, most people might say. So going into the competition, Italy is definitely one to look out for. However, from Group A, I expect Italy and Switzerland to progress in that format. Italy topping the group with Switzerland coming second in that group. I won't go all the way into the round of 16 and the semi-final round. At the end, I'll just conclude my thoughts on who I think will be in the semi-final and who will go all the way. All right. Moving on, Group B, we have Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. First and foremost, I don't think Finland will make it out of the group. I think they barely got into the Euros. Timo Pukki, he's been phenomenal in the championship as well as in his time in the English Premier League. Not this season that just concluded, but the one before. So he is their main man, no doubt. They'll be looking to him to get everything done. But I think looking at the other groups, they're better rounded. They have more players that they can call upon to get the job done. And as such, I don't think Finland will progress. So Finland will finish at the bottom of this group, in my opinion. Russia will be third. Russia had a remarkable World Cup. They had the home advantage, which was good. Zuba had the tournament of his life, but I think he is past his best. He had a good domestic season this year, to say the least. Golovin, these are players who came out of the 2018 World Cup on a high. However, I think they've somewhat faded off. And as a result, I don't think Russia will be making it throughout the group. So in that case, it is Finland at the bottom and Russia in third. Belgium and Denmark to finish first and second in that order. I think Belgium, they aren't as good as they used to be. Eden Hazard hasn't had the season he had prior to going into the World Cup. Kevin De Bruyne, he just won PFA Player of the Year. However, was he exceptional throughout the season? I don't think so. He missed half the season. So it's not as if they have their best players playing their best. Romelu Lukaku, on the other hand, I think he's playing the best football of his life. So he makes one. He recently got to 60 goals in 93 appearances. That's better than Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, Didier Drogba, and Lionel Messi. So he's achieved that feat faster than these individuals, and I think he will use this opportunity to continue on that path on which he's on. Maybe a 70% De Bruyne and a 50% Eden Hazard will be enough to propel Belgium to top of the group. But will they be able to push them all the way? We'll see when it gets to that. But as things stand now, I have Belgium finishing first in the group and Denmark finishing second. I think Denmark is a remarkable team. I love them, to say the least. Bednarak, Christensen. I think they announced that a few players will be missing, but I revisit that. Nonetheless, Denmark, they are compact. They've always been compact. They defend really well. They're a competition team. They do well at the World Cups. They have created an identity for themselves, and they have consistently been to the World Cup and have made statements for themselves. Thank you, Anthony Mary. Christian Eriksen, he didn't have the most consistent domestic season, but we know on his day he is unplayable. So Denmark, a class team. Poulsen Anderson, who currently is looking to see that deal to Tottenham Hotspur. The friendly that they played a few days ago, I think Brathwaite was on the score sheet as well. So that should be interesting to see. So in conclusion, for Group B, I have Belgium finishing first, Denmark second, Russia third, and Finland coming last in that group. Moving on to Group C, It's Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. So from the onset, I'm going to say North Macedonia will finish bottom of the group. I think the Netherlands will finish first in the group. They don't have the greatest team. However, I think they still have a better team than Ukraine and Austria. Austria, they have some quality players. So does Ukraine. Ukraine plays similar to Denmark in that they're compact and they don't rely too heavily on individual talent. It's more of a team effort. So in that group, I think Netherlands will finish first. Frankie de Jong, Gini Wijnaldum, Memphis Depay, they just have too much for the rest of their opponents in the group. And although their coach is very, very stubborn, he doesn't really know his best starting 11 as yet. I still think they will progress through the group stages. So I think the Netherlands will finish first in that group. In second, I have Ukraine. I think Ukraine, throughout the years, they've produced some phenomenal talent, but they just don't seem to have that extra push to go the next level. Nonetheless, I think Austria, although they have the likes of Alaba and Arnautovic and these players, they still, I don't think they'll be able to fend off the challenge from the Ukrainian team. And as a result, Zinchenko and his colleagues, I think, will be able to progress. So, yeah, Van de Beek will miss out on the Euros. I think he didn't have the most convincing domestic season, and it may have contributed to that. As a result, he's injured. Yeah, but he still didn't have the best season domestically. So I think he needs to find somewhere where he's playing and he's playing consistently. Because if he doesn't, then his chances in the Netherlands team, especially with so many youngsters coming through the Ajax Academy, his chances will be limited and they will continue dwindling until he's totally out of the fray. So for Group C, it's Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and then North Macedonia for me. All right. So let me know what you think. Let me know what are your views on Group C. If you disagree with what I have so far, I'll go through the groups again. For Group A, I have Italy first, Switzerland second, Turkey and Wales to finish in that order. Group B, Belgium and Denmark, Russia third, Finland last for me. Group C, Netherlands first, Ukraine second, Austria third, and North Macedonia to finish last. That's where I have it so far. For Group D, it's Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and Scotland. This is where it gets a bit tricky. I think England goes into the competition as favorites. Surprisingly, they have better odds than Italy and France. So it is very, very tricky with the England team. But as we've grown accustomed, England is generally hyped on paper, but on the day when they get to the competitions, they generally flop. So will this be a similar situation? I'm not sure. Gareth Southgate, in my opinion, he isn't the greatest manager, but considering the competition that they'll be up against, I think this group isn't as tricky. It's kind of similar to the one they had in the World Cup, so they may have an easier run to the second round. Anyway, I think England will finish first in their group, regardless of what happened prior to the competition commencing. I wasn't convinced with the two games they played, the practice games they played. Jordan Henderson, in my opinion, he isn't fit and they shouldn't take him. They decided to take Ben White instead of James Ward-Prowse, which again, I disagree with. So not really big on this English team, but nonetheless, I think they will finish top of the zone. Croatia, I think, will come second. Croatia, they currently have an aging team. They have players who are capable of doing well. They play mostly through the midfield. Brozovic, Rakitic, Luka Modric, these are players who are past their best. I know Modric is still running. He recently had an extension with Real Madrid, but is it the Modric of 2 years ago? No. He won Ballon d'Or just after the World Cup, which shows the level he was at. He's nowhere near that level now. And I think he was one of the main factors why Croatia did so well in the World Cup. So I think Croatia, they haven't been exceptional for the past 2 years or after the World Cup, they've gradually been going downhill. And as such, I think they will finish second to the English team. I think the English team has a lot more energy, and that is what the Croatian team is missing. So England first, Croatia second, in my opinion. For third place, I have Scotland. I think Scotland, they're playing some good football. They look convincing, and who knows, the game against with Scotland and England should be quite interesting because there's a big rivalry there. So I have England first, Croatia second, Scotland third, and Czech Republic coming in fourth. All right, moving on to Group E. I think Group E will be another straightforward group as well. Group E has the likes of Spain, Sweden, Slovakia, and Poland. Now, Slovakia with the likes of Marek Hamšík. I think Hamšík in the World Cup 2010, I think. Yeah, World Cup 2010 was his standout World Cup. After that, his club career as well as his international career started going downhill. He's still one of the record appearance makers for Napoli. He's a Napoli man through and through, but I don't think Hamšík is where he was a few years ago. And as a result, I have Slovakia to finish last in that group. Following Slovakia, I have Poland. I think, yeah, following Slovakia, Poland definitely. I think Robert Lewandowski, he's an amazing player, but he just doesn't have the help. He maybe two or three players close to his ilk, and I would have easily had them finishing second. But as things stand now, Lewandowski, he will definitely get on the score sheet because I think it's impossible to deny him a goal on his day. So Lewandowski and Poland to finish third. The first two, I have Sweden to finish first, and second, I have Spain. Reason being, Spain will be expected to finish first in this group because they have the big names, and after all, they're Spain. But I don't think they have been convincing. Earlier today, I think they had a 4-0 win. Still not convinced because Morata is the one leading the line. They called in Moreno earlier this week because of the COVID test to Busquets, and as such, it's a bit all over the place. Spain also doesn't have any Real Madrid players. It's a bunch of youngsters from Barcelona as well as across Spain. So I'm not too convinced by the Spanish squad. I think they will struggle. They will struggle for goals. They will struggle for chances. And overall, they will have a very, very tough competition. Sweden, I think it's a complete unit. They know how to score goals. They know how to defend. And they generally produce some very, very solid midfielders. So I have Sweden finishing first, Spain second, Poland third, and Slovakia fourth in Group E. In Group F, the last group, the group of death, it is France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. I think we can all agree that Hungary will finish bottom of that zone. France, I watched them earlier today. Benzema picked up a knock. I'm not sure how serious that is. However, Olivier Giroud, he came on the field and he scored it twice, along with Griezmann with a spectacular overhead kick. So I think France, they have what it takes to go all the way. A similar case to the 2016 Euros. And the 2018 World Cup, they have a complete squad. I can't see any weakness. And in the words of Jose Mourinho, in all aspects of the team that I look, I see world-class players. As such, I think France are more than capable of topping this zone and going even further this year. Maybe they could even go on and winning it. Nonetheless, I think France will top the zone. Deschamps, he snapped back at Mourinho saying when he looked at Tottenham team, he couldn't believe that they didn't win. They didn't win anything because it was a complete team. I think it was a little bit of banter because looking at this French team, if I'm to be honest, I think only 2 players or maybe 3 players in that squad didn't win a domestic trophy this season. And they are Hugo Lloris because he plays for Tottenham Hotspur, as we know. Paul Pogba, we know his case at Manchester United. And I think there was one more, but there are 3 players in the starting lineup that I watched today that did Karim Benzema. So Karim Benzema, Paul Pogba, and Hugo Lloris are the three players in this France starting lineup today that didn't win a domestic trophy. All the other players, they won a trophy. Magnan, he was phenomenal for Lille this season, and he was one of the main reasons why they ended up lifting the league title. So it should be a very, very interesting Euros for France. They're stocked in every department. I couldn't help but notice the manager was playing a little different from how he played at the World Cup. He played a 4-1-2-1-2 formation today, with N'Golo Kante playing in front of the back four by himself, Paul Pogba and Tolisso playing a little bit more advanced, and Griezmann playing between Mbappe and Karim Benzema. So I'm looking forward to see if that's the formation that he will opt for going into the competition, because if that is the case, it should be a very, very exciting team to watch come the Euros on the weekend. Folks, if you haven't done so as yet, please like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel or tell a friend to tell a friend. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers today. I think we're only 12 out or 11 out by now. Let's push. Let's see if we can get it done as much as possible. All the halftime folks on here, we appreciate the support and the love. Diamond when defending. All the halftime folks on here, the regulars, thanks for joining. As usual, we appreciate the love and the support. All right. Continuing. So it's France in first, Hungary in fourth. Now the battle will be between Germany and Portugal. I think Germany had a 7-1 win over, I don't even remember the team that they played. Whoa, it's that bad. But can someone in the comment section remind me of the team that Germany had a 7-1 win over? So, Germany had a 7-1 win yesterday. I can't remember the team. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. Portugal will be going up against Germany again. This should be very, very interesting, because the German youngsters, they played against the Portuguese youngsters at the weekend in the under 23 final of the final of the under 23. Honestly, I don't remember. Latvia. Yeah, I think it's Latvia. But for a bit of perspective, Latvia lost to Georgia as well as Malta. So it just gives you an idea of the competition that Germany was up against, and the score sheet may be too flattering for us to take it seriously. Also, we have to bear in mind that England played against Romania, which is, I think, they're similar to maybe a Southampton in English Premier League, if we're to compare quality and the gap between the two teams. So Germany, first I'm hearing about that country. Germany and Portugal, that game should be interesting, because the Portuguese team will be trying to seek revenge for the youngsters. I think they got the under 23 championship on the weekend. Germany won that one by 1-0. The German team was far better as well. They will be battling for second place, but I think it doesn't really matter, because the team that finishes third in this group will still progress. Will still progress to the second round, because as we already know, it's two from each zone, and then they'll take the two best third place. So I think whoever finishes third in Group F will still progress to the next round of fixtures. I think, however, Portugal will finish second and Germany will finish third. I was considering Portugal to finish third and Germany second a few days ago, but I'm having a change of mind, because I just don't think I'm as convinced with Germany as I would want to be. Germany, they have the likes of Müller coming back in. They have Matt Hummels coming back in, adding that little bit more experience. But there is still Timo Werner. I'm not as convinced that Timo Werner can take them to the next level. I know Kai Havertz will be playing very, very close to Timo Werner, and so will Thomas Müller, because generally that's how he gets on the score sheet, playing very close to the striker. But I don't know. I think Portugal, looking at that Portuguese team, I know how they want to play. I know how they play. They have an identity. Jogi Löw, I think his time has elapsed, and sometimes the morale of the players, it doesn't seem to be there. It doesn't seem that they're as excited to play for him as they were a few years ago. And as such, I think Germany will finish third in their group. Portugal will finish second. So it'll be France first, Portugal second, Germany third, and Hungary fourth. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section. Please remember to like the videos, folks. Now, before I wrap it up, I'm going to let you guys know who's a player to look out for in each of these groups. The Kulusevski for Sweden, he was one of those players that I was really excited to see in the tournament. He plays for that group will be very exciting. I agree. I was looking forward to seeing him. He plays for Juventus in the Serie A. I think he tested positive for COVID, and as such, he'll be missing out, which is very heartbreaking for the players. But also, it is basically pie in the face for us, Stefan, because I was honestly looking forward to see him. How about? Yeah, he has been good though. He has been good. I think he was at the last World Cup with them. But Kulusevski is the youngster. He's just coming in. I think he's just 20. And based on what I've seen from him so far, especially this past season at Juventus, he was going to create a storm in the Euros. It's just sad that he won't be there. Nonetheless, it is what it is. It's just a part of it. For Portugal, I'll go through the teams and let you know. For Portugal, I think don't be surprised if one of those teams are held to a draw by Hungary. I won't. I think remember, Hungary is a footballing nation. I don't know much about their team now, but the teams that I know about, I'm speaking of. I'll do a little bit of research on the Hungarian team, but throughout the years, we know Hungary. They've been to I think 2 or 3 World Cup finals or semifinals throughout the years. So they are a footballing nation. At least they were. The same with Bulgaria. Things have changed a little bit over the past 2 or 3 decades, but still, they still have the ilk and they know how football should be played. All right. So for Portugal, I think João Felix, he is the one we should be looking at coming into this this tournament for Portugal. There'll be talks of Diego Jota. There'll be talks of Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think João Felix will collect the baton from Cristiano Ronaldo in this Euros. He was good for Atletico Madrid throughout the season. He wasn't exceptional, but he was good. We know that he can go a level up because of what we've seen in the past. His technical ability is next to none. If he were English, we would have been hearing a whole lot more about him. But I think this player, João Felix, on ability alone, he is one of the best young talents in the world, if not the best. All right. So João Felix, the one to watch for Portugal. For Germany, I think Kai Havertz on the back of that World Cup Champions League, sorry, on the back of the Champions League winning goal, he will be coming into the Euros to build on that. And he had a stop-start season at Chelsea. He got a little bit of consistency at the end, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to justify his Jota. We'll just watch out for those two. Definitely. As I said, João Felix, I'm not writing off Jota, but I think Jota he will definitely get on the score sheet. He knows how to score the goal, but João Felix will beat the man at the middle of everything. Germany, again, I think Kai Havertz on the back of such a remarkable high Champions League winning goal for Chelsea. He comes into this tournament as the main man for Germany. I know he's young, he's inexperienced, but still he plays with that sort of confidence that oozes that everything is perfect. He has everything under control, and it just oozes full-on confidence for a youngster. So at 21 years old, I think he's playing at maybe 5 or 10 years above his age, and as such, Kai Havertz is the one I'm looking forward to seeing in the German team. Serge Gnabry, his season was plagued with injury. as well at Bayern Munich. He didn't play as much as he did last season. And as such, I think the lack of consistency as it relates to playing time will be his detriment. And that's the primary reason I'm looking forward to seeing Kai Havertz a bit more. All right. He's very, very quick. He's very quick. His strides don't seem as if they're moving very fast because he has long legs, but he's a very, very quick player. And the ball, he dribbles with the ball stuck to his feet, kind of like Mesut Ozil or Lionel Messi when he's dribbling. But he's a class player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. In the France team, I think talk will be about Kylian Mbappe because, after all, he is the newest superstar on the block. He scored a goal in the World Cup final a few years ago, and he basically was one of France's standout players in the World Cup. But I think the man for me going into the Euros will be Benzema. I think Benzema has a point to prove. He's come back from the wilderness. I know he came off injured today. I'm not sure if he will be fit to play in the first game. Still waiting to hear the reports of the scan of his injury. But I think Benzema definitely. Conte has less work to do with the French team because they generally have the ball most of the time. So I think Benzema will have a point to prove. And I don't know. I think Benzema will use this as a statement that he deserves. And throughout the years, he will be trying to show them what they've been missing out on. As I said, Olivier Giroud, he got on the score sheet twice today, which brings him closer to the goal scoring record. But maybe he can use this tournament as the perfect platform for him to achieve it. There's talks of him going to AC Milan as well. He was Chelsea's top scorer in the Europa League last year, was Chelsea's top scorer in the Champions League this season as well. So Olivier Giroud knows how to find the back of the net. He is a proven goal scorer. And I think going into this competition, he will be competing against Karim Benzema, who has a point to prove, as I mentioned before. Just look how Paul and Griezmann will perform better for their country rather than their club. I think Pogba and Griezmann, there's a different vibe when they're playing for France. And I watched the game today, and Pogba was flicking the ball over players' heads and all of that. Some stuff that I didn't see him doing for England, for Manchester United, sorry. And I think he's comfortable in this team. There's a level of comfort that allows him to express himself a bit more, because playing for France, he definitely looks a world-class player. For Manchester United, you're only seeing occasions where he produces world-class abilities, but we don't see it as consistent. I think if Pogba was playing for France 365 days for the year, no one could question his ability, and who knows, probably he would have even won a Ballon d'Or already. But for France, it's definitely different for Pogba. Griezmann, he scored a remarkable goal today. Earlier in the first game, I think he scored a wonderful goal as well. So they both players, as you alluded to, Anthony Mari, I must agree, they play really, really well when they're representing their countries. All right. For Spain, we have Spain, Poland, Slovenia, Sweden. The Spain one is a bit tricky for me. In the France team, they have more players doing the defensive work rather than for United. I agree. But even for Manchester United, I don't think Pogba doesn't do that much defending. It's McTominay or Fred or whoever. The stress him being called to do defensive work, but I don't think he does that much defensive work anyway. For the Group E, as I mentioned, for Poland, no doubt it will be Lewandowski. I don't need to even go into details for that. He broke the goal scoring record for the German Bundesliga this year, a record held by Gerd Müller, which is no easy feat. I won't go into details. We know what Lewandowski is capable of. He is one of the most lethal. Well, he is the most lethal striker on the planet as things stand now. No need to go into the details. So he's definitely the man to watch for Poland. He will be captaining the team as well. So Lewandowski, the man for Poland. For Slovakia, it is Marek Hamšík. for those who don't know him, he has played over 500 games for Napoli. He used to play with a very, very pronounced mohawk. Lately, he's changed that. So Marek Hamšík will be the man for Slovakia. For Spain, I think it's a young Barcelona player, Pedri. He's an exceptional talent. Will this be his reckoning? I don't know, but I truly hope so, because likes of Morata, they're not very convincing. And if I'm to be honest with myself, the inexperience of the Spanish team is the only worry I have. Laporte recently decided that he was going to play for Spain as well, so he should bring that level of calmness at the back for the Spanish team. Pau Torres, a very, very good defender as well. They have the experience of Jordi Alba, that plays for Barcelona as well. So the Spanish team, it is a good crop of players, but do they have what it takes to go all the way? I don't think so, because the mere fact that we're discussing a youngster who only just made it through the ranks at Barcelona as their main player to look forward to in the competition, it speaks volumes. So the Spanish team, it is Pedri, and for Sweden, the Swedes are a little bit different for me. I'll skip Sweden for now. Because I think although there are players in Sweden's team that I know can do well, and they generally are good players, there is no one player that stands out that you say, okay, this is a player that will take you all the way. Usually, before it was Zlatan, it didn't work out for them because we know everything has to go through Zlatan. So I think Sweden on a whole, the team you have to look out for. So I won't name a player for the Swedes. Look out for the Sweden team, because if teamwork, if you needed a perfect example for teamwork, Sweden would be just that. All right. For who else do I have? Scotland. I have Scotland, England, Czech, and Croatia. For Croatia, I think Kovacic, not because I'm a Chelsea fan, but also I think he is the one who will be taking over from Modric and Rakitic in the midfield. And as such, I think he will be using this tournament, because generally he is a big part player. He comes on, he gets 10, 20 minutes here and there. And it was the same at Real Madrid. When he was there, he would come on for 10, 15 minutes for Modric or that sort of thing. I think it is Kovacic is coming of age now, and this is his tournament. He is one of the best dribblers in world football. I think 2 seasons ago, only Lionel Messi completed more dribbles than him. He knows how to string a pass. He tackles really well. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. And as such, I think for Croatia, it won't be Rakitic, it won't be Modric, but instead it will be Mateo Kovacic, in my opinion. All right. For Czech Republic, it's the same thing with Sweden. I think the Czech, they play as a team. They're not great, but they still play as a team. They don't have that standout person that they go to get everything right when it's going wrong. So for the Czech Republic, I'll just leave it as well. For Scotland, let me know in the comment section, folks, who you're looking towards in the Scotland team. I have a few in my mind. But the Czech team still doesn't look towards Souček for everything. You get what I'm saying? So because although Souček and Soufal, they're good players and they can chip in with a goal here and there, they're not those players that they can rely on heavily, or they take up the team. No. So I'll take Souček since it's a suggestion, but I don't see the Czech as that sort of team. I see them closer to a Sweden, who we know that, okay, if things aren't going right, the entire Swedish team is going to live in your box. But for the Scotland team, let me know your comments, folks. Who are you looking towards in the Scotland team between Che Adams, Robertson? All right. Adams. Well, Che Adams got on the score sheet earlier this week in their practice game. His season at Southampton. Uh, hmm, I think Che Adams' main problem is his decision making. I'm not questioning whether this will be a good tournament for him because he has all the attributes of a wonderful striker. When he just went to Southampton, when he made the switch from the Championship, there were a lot of expectations, but he just hasn't like taken that extra step to the next level. I think he possesses speed, ability. He's able to shoot, but his decision making is poor. But Andy Robertson, he is a big game player, and I will go with Andy Robertson for this one. I think he will be using this as a stepping stone going into next season for his club football. Liverpool weren't as exceptional as they were last season. This season that was just completed, and as such, Andy Robertson will be using this somewhat as a preseason, getting back to his best. He wasn't that bad throughout the season, if I'm to be honest, either. But his team on a whole was just bad. Scotland, as I said, that game with Scotland and England will be very, very interesting. Billy Gilmour, he wonderful talent as well. He will be controlling the middle. And I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I can't wait because I know that Scotland, they will be going into the English team. They will be going to the game against the English team with a point to prove. And it's a big, big rivalry. So for the Scotland team, I'm going to say Andy Robertson. Regardless of all the names, I think Andy Robertson, he's the captain of the team. He's a big game player. He's won everything there is to win at the club level. And as such, he will be leading by example. All right. So Andy Robertson, keep a close eye on Billy Gilmour as well. He's very, very young, Chelsea youngster. Someone in the comments said the Scottish Iniesta. I can definitely agree with that. All right. Moving on, the English team. With so many big names, the English team is the favorite to win the Euros. At least that's what the bookmakers say. So do we agree with that? Who are you looking forward to seeing in the English team? I think McTominay will play centre back and Gilmour will be very good on the ball. Well, they need someone who is good on the ball to string the passes. They definitely need someone who's good on the ball, and I can't see anyone close to yeah, he's very good on the ball too. Armstrong, he's very good on the ball. Like I don't know, he plays the game so simple and he looks very slight, but he's very, very skillful and he gets past players so easy. For me, it's going to be between Kane and Shaw. Mason Mount, my favorite for England. All right, so in the game that they played at the weekend, Jack Grealish was a standout player. He bought a penalty, in my opinion, from the referees because on no planet whatsoever was that a penalty. But that's my opinion. They recently selected Ben White instead of James Ward-Prowse for that last spot, so Jesse Lingard won't be there. So the big names in the attacking third of the pitch will be Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Who else am I missing? Jack is English name. Yeah, Jack Grealish, but I don't agree with the Southgate selection. Okay, as I said, those are the names in the attacking third. We're not sure if Harry Maguire will be fit to play the first round. They said he'll be available come game 3 or whatnot. I'm not sure as yet. Still waiting on reports out of England. Jordan Henderson, he played some part in that game that they played with Romania. He missed a penalty as well. I think he was using that opportunity to prove that, okay, I'm back. He was unable to convert, and it shows the lack of match fitness as well, because throughout the game he was missing for the most part until that penalty was won. He stepped up, took the ball out of one of the players' hand and used basically his seniority, because I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin had the ball in his hand and he said he was going to kick it. So he used that seniority argument and he ended up taking the penalty and missing. So I don't think Jordan Henderson should have been at the Euros, but he's already there. So who are we going to say is going to be the player for England to look forward to? Jack is the English Neymar. If England fail to reach semi, I think Southgate job is going to be on the line. Yeah, I think they will be out because at the World Cup it wasn't a true test. I think at the World Cup they got a favorable set of fixtures. If I'm to be honest, the two real teams that England faced in the World Cup, they struggled. Well, three because they struggled against Colombia significantly, and this was a weakened Colombia team, right? Remember James Rodriguez was injured. They played against Croatia, they lost. They played against Belgium, they lost. So the two real tests that they were faced with, they struggled. Well, three, and they lost two of those. Henderson out, Ward-Prowse in. I agree. That sounds way more like it. Calvin Phillips can play the Jordan Henderson role, and James Ward-Prowse he will be the creativity in the team. I don't know. I just can't see how James Ward-Prowse, having played 76 games, across two seasons, not missing a single game for his club, he's unable to make it into the English team. As I said before in one of the videos that I did, I'm pretty sure if he was playing for Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, or Manchester United, it would be a completely different story. But I don't make the rules, and I don't select the squads either. So it is what it is. It's just a part of the game. So have we decided that it will be Jack Grealish? It sounds as if Jack Grealish will be the man. So Jack Grealish, I think Jack Grealish will be the go-to man for the English team. I can't see their identity as yet. It's a bunch of stars on paper, but I still can't see the identity of the team going into the tournament. Who knows? They played 2 practice games with some players that Southgate wasn't going to take to the World Cup, to the Euros, sorry. So let's see. I'll be here. I'll probably even do a watch along at the weekend for the first game that the English will play. So I'll see what happens for that. All right. So moving on, we'll go on to Group C now. I honestly don't know anyone in Macedonia's team. I think for Austria, it will be Alaba. He just made the move to Real Madrid. He will be the main man in that team, regardless of the names that come about. I know Austria generally has some good strikers. Arnautovic, Foden and Mount will be all over the papers. Yes, that they will be, because they are the youngsters and they are the ones for the future, and they play for the big clubs. For Ukraine, Zinchenko definitely. For Netherlands, here's my pick for the Netherlands. I know people will be looking to Memphis Depay. He's the only one who seems to be able to score goals. But I think Frankie de Jong will have a good tournament. He was good for Barcelona throughout the season. And I think coming into this tournament, he will be taking on the mantle of the lack of leadership in the team with the absence of Van Dijk. They definitely need someone to step up. And Frankie de Jong, in my opinion, he will be stepping in. So I think Frankie de Jong is the one to look out for Netherlands. They have a young player named Gravenberch. Please, guys, look out for him as well. Mark that name, write it down, scribble it down. Send a message to your club. I definitely would want to see him at Chelsea. He's an exceptional midfielder. I've watched him. I can't remember, but I've watched him a number of times for Ajax this season. And I think he's a very, very special player. He also registered his first international goal, I think last week or earlier this week. So Gravenberch, look out for that player, guys. Very, 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 very talented individual. All right. For Ukraine, it will be Zinchenko. I think he will even be captain in the team. The young Manchester City player, he's very, very versatile. He can play midfield. He can play in defense. He has a very, very good set piece as well. So Zinchenko, yeah, I agree. Zinchenko will be the man for Ukraine. Look out. We know Zinchenko from the English Premier League. We know what he's capable of. Pep generally plays him wherever he wants to play him because he's that good. Very, very underrated, but still, if he's able to keep Benjamin Mendy out of the team, it says a lot about his qualities, and he's not even an out-and-out left back. So Zinchenko for Ukraine, Frankie de Jong for Netherlands, and for Austria, I have David Alaba. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. Remember to like the video, folks. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes before we finish the live. All right. For Group B, we have Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. I'll start with Finland. We know Timo Pukki will be the man for Finland. He's there. Everything goes through him. He makes the decision. He takes the decisions. He is everything for Finland. And that's the primary reason I think they will struggle, because if option A, which is get the ball to Timo Pukki, doesn't work, option B won't work either, because option B will be to get the ball to Timo Pukki. So all options point to Timo Pukki, and that's why Finland will struggle. For Russia, Zuba, again, I think Golovin will be a very, very interesting player to see for them at the World Cup. He was one to look out for. I think, again, he will be one to look out for. Zuba, he's your typical center forward, kind of like a Dzeko, if I'm to be honest. Yeah, but he's kind of like Dzeko. He's a focal point, but whenever he sniffs the goal, it's in the back of your net. So Hatem Zuba, one to look out for Russia. For Finland, Timo Pukki. For Denmark, let's see, Cherichev. Oh, yeah, Cherichev, very, very good player as well. For Denmark, who do we have, folks? Denmark, let's hear it. Denmark, let's hear it. I have my reservations for the big names for Denmark, but and don't say Christensen, please. Don't say Christensen. I want to hear something different from apart from Christensen, because I think Christensen's domestic season wasn't as great as we'd want, but they have some very, very good defenders, as they generally do. They usually have some strikers that I'd give them maybe a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. Not prolific, but some okay strikers. So who do we have for Denmark? Leave it in the comment section, folks. Remember to like the videos. What do you think of your Denmark standout player to look out for the Euro 2020? Remember to like, share, and subscribe, folks. Help us get to 500 subscribers. Hopefully by the time this video ends, we would have achieved it. Yeah, help us get to 500 subscribers, please. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Once we get to 500, you know, the next destination is 1,000. Just this past week alone, we wrapped up close to 100 subscribers. So it shows that we're growing as a community, we're growing as a team. And I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing for me for the past few months as well. All right. So we have Denmark. Someone says Brathwaite, Poulsen, don't out Casper. Which Casper? Casper Dolberg? Casper Dolberg or Casper Schmeichel? Let's see. All right. All right. Brathwaite. Yeah, I think Brathwaite, he has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. He has been one of the most used memes for the past year or so. I think since Suarez left Barcelona, Brathwaite has been the meme that has dominated football banter. So whenever you're making a banter about a striker, it generally is Brathwaite. So I'm going to say this will be his tournament. Brathwaite, he has a point to prove, and the Euros will give him the perfect platform to prove that, okay, I belong at Barcelona, as well as this is why I'm leading the line for my country. So we're going to say Brathwaite for Denmark, but again, Denmark has a very, very good team. They defend exceptionally well. Christensen, Soyuncu, Bednarak, as well as Anderson, very, very good players. So we definitely need to look up for those guys. It should be interesting to see. All right. Brathwaite is the one for me for that one. And for Belgium, all right. Belgium, we have a player who will be going into this tournament with Belgium. It will be his inaugural tournament. His name is Leandro Trossard. He plays for Brighton Hove Albion in the English Premier League. I'm going to implore on you guys to watch that player keenly on international duty, because I think at the end of the tournament, he will be getting a big bye. He won't be playing at Brighton next year. That's how talented he is. All right. Overall, I think Belgium has an exceptionally talented crop of players. Someone in the Jay saying Yuri Tielemans, Lukaku, KDB, Hazard have exactly, but also Hazard's younger brother, Thorgan Hazard, he had a remarkable domestic season. Castagna for Leicester City as a wingback, he was phenomenal as well. So these are players that they have you wondering, okay, where's Belgium finding all this talent? Patson Daka, he had a good season as well. So these guys, they are capable. Belgium has a very, very good crop of players. My only concern with the Belgian team is the defense unit, because their defense consists of Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and I think Boyata. I think Vertonghen and Alderweireld, they're past their best. Alderweireld, he was a top quality defender in his prime, but no, I think he's going a little bit downhill, and as such, it's the only concern I have with the team, really. I think if Belgium doesn't progress past the quarterfinal rounds, I think Roberto Martinez should be sacked. That's my opinion. I just don't think he's maximized the quality at his disposal. Carrasco, he's back in the team as well. Nasser Chadli, he's in the team. Very, very interesting crop of players, as I mentioned before. Tielemans, we saw that goal he scored against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. On natural ability, he is one of the best playing in the English Premier League. So there's not even any question about his capabilities. Yuri Tielemans definitely one to look out for. But my player that I think will be the standout player for Belgium is their captain in Eden Hazard's absence, and that is Romelu Lukaku. I think Kevin De Bruyne, everyone will be expecting De Bruyne to do what Kevin De Bruyne does, but Lukaku will be leading the line, and on the back of such a remarkable domestic season, I think that after that goal. No, I had respect for Tielemans prior though. I was actually lobbying for him before he went to Monaco. When he was at Anderlecht, he was one of my favorite young players. I think he made the debut in the Anderlecht team at 16, and I was watching him and I was like, okay, I would really love to see this player on my club. But then Monaco made the move and got him across. I'm like, oh, maybe the hopes are up now. And I continued to lobby for him. If you guys have been paying attention, even on Fan Zone, when I was on Fan Zone the last time, I was saying, okay, I prefer to have Tielemans in my team than Jorginho any day of the week. And that was not only because he scored on Chelsea in the final, but based on what I saw throughout his years coming up. He was one of the best young players at 16. Everyone was talking about him the same way everyone was talking about Justin Kluivert and Kylian Mbappe. All right. The same thing. Yeah, because I saw Kylian Mbappe at 16 as well. I watched Kylian Mbappe at 16 at Monaco, and I told my friends that this guy is a true baller and he will be one of the best there is. And lo and behold, he's pushing down boundaries now. He's so calm in the ball and his passing is very, very accurate. Yep, very, very good. He has a very good technique, and that's what I like most about him. His technique is next to none, like, if I'm to be honest with myself. So for the Belgian team, I think Romelu Lukaku will be the man. Big Rom will be using this opportunity to right the wrongs of the World Cup. And in the World Cup, we know Harry Kane won the Golden Boot in the Euros. Romelu Lukaku will be looking to take that Golden Boot home. All right. Moving on for Wales, Gareth Bale, we know. For Turkey, it will be Hakan Kanaglu. He plays for AC Milan. He will be the main man for Turkey. For the Swiss, it generally is Zedran Shaqiri. I don't see it being any different. No, he's a very, very exceptional player. He's visionary. He has good technique. He's able to score long range goals. He's able to tap them in. He's very fast. He has everything. It's just sad that at Liverpool he isn't being used enough. So for Switzerland, Zedran Shaqiri will be the man. No question, hands down. I don't even have to second guess that one. You really don't like. No, I really don't like Jorginho. I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't say like, but when I see what players who play in the same position and play the same type of game are capable of offering, it infuriates me because sometimes when he makes back passes or when players make the runs that deserve a wonderful pass, and I see him turn the ball and make a 5-yard pass. I question how is that contributing to the team? And in your position as a registrar, as you want to call it, your job is to lob balls over. Today, the best I've seen him is I think last season. Someone pinged the ball into him and he chipped it over the top for Tammy Abraham, and Tammy Abraham scored. It's the best I've seen him, like the best move I've seen him make since he's been playing at Chelsea, and he's been at Chelsea 3 seasons. Jorginho is actually half Brazilian. I think he was born in Brazil. It just happened that he grew up in Italy. So he's full Brazilian. Brazil can take ownership of him. He's a fake Brazilian in my opinion. All right, so his words playing exactly. So now someone understands the perspective I'm coming from. It has nothing to do with like or hate. It's just when I'm comparing him to other players playing in a similar position, it begs the question, and question that need to be answered, because I'm seeing a young Tielemans doing that, and you who have been playing at the biggest clubs for however long, and you're still struggling for confidence to ping the ball over the top for a Reece James who is overlapping 70 or 60 yards. It's a headache. All right. So we have Switzerland. Everyone can agree with me on the Swiss on the decision. And the Swiss, Zedran Shaqiri, he's the one I have for Switzerland. For Turkey, Jorginho or Fred. Neither of them. Jorginho or Fred. Billy Gilmore. For Turkey, it's Çalhanoğlu. For Italy, this is the interesting one. Who are we looking forward to seeing for Italy in the Euros? Personally, I am looking forward to seeing Chiesa. I'm not sure if you guys have seen a lot of him, but he is an exceptional talent. He's very, very fast. He's very quick, and he has a very good shot as well. So I think Chiesa is the one. He's still young. He's hungry. The Italian team, it has everything. It has experience. It has youth. It has a little bit of aggression, but it still has some young players who are capable of holding their head under pressure. So Barella, very, very good choice as well. Zakaria, very good choice. Again, as I said, I am looking forward to seeing Chiesa. I've seen him a lot at the club level, and I just want to see him in the Italian team. Who knows? We might just see him having the season of his life. All right, Barella. Anthony, you're lobbying for Barella. Switzerland, as I said, we have Shaqiri for Turkey. We have Çalhanoğlu for Wales. It's Gareth Bale. And for Italy, all right, Anthony is filling up the comment section with Barella. All right, so we're gonna say Barella and Chiesa, because I can't leave out Chiesa. I think it will be an interesting Euros for Italy. Again, I'll go through the Italian team. Just the front three alone is frightening. If they're playing Chiesa with Insigne and Immobile, it will be remarkable. Seeing Barella in the middle of the pitch, again, very, very interesting. Barella playing next to Verratti, rock solid. So look at Barella, Verratti, Jorginho, those three playing in midfield, and backed up by Bonucci and Chiellini. Should be good. Should be quite should be quite interesting. All right. So I think that does it for this part of the show. I'll just do a quick recap of everything that we went through today, and then I'll call it quits. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. For Group A, I have Italy first, Switzerland second, Turkey third, Wales fourth. For Group B, Belgium first, Denmark second, Russia third, Finland fourth. For Group C, Netherlands first, Ukraine second, Austria third, North Macedonia fourth. Georgina will be the standout. Definitely, he'll be the worst of the lot. So the players playing alongside him will be showing him up. For Group D, I have England in first, Croatia in second, Scotland in third, but only very close. Czech Republic in fourth. All right, so that one will be very interesting, third and fourth for Czech and Scotland, but I think Scotland will just edge it over the Czech Republic. All right, for Group E, this is group with Poland and Slovakia. I think they will finish third and fourth in that order, with Sweden finishing first and Spain finishing second. So that's my upset for the group round. Spain failing to finish top of their zone at the hands of Sweden. For Group F, France first, Portugal second, Germany third, Hungary fourth. That's my pick. I think having completed the group rounds, the best third place finishers, Germany and maybe Scotland will progress to the second round. Yeah, I think Germany and maybe Scotland will progress to the second round as the best third place finishes, and then we'll move from there. All right. That's all I have. I already outlined the standout players in my opinion, and we know who those are. Remember to like the video, folks. If you're on here and you haven't liked the video as yet, just hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. Let's keep the channel growing. Let's keep the community growing as much as possible. I originally went out into the streets and did an opinion poll, and a lot of the persons who I interviewed, they were saying France. So France goes into this as the fans' choice favorite. However, England goes into it as the bookmakers' favorite. But I think the Italians, who, if all goes well, they'll face France, in the semifinal. They will be the ones to look out for. So Italy will beat France in the semifinals. It's a big call, but it's a call that I just made here. And France will miss out on the final this year. If they go all the way, it would have been expected, but I'm calling Italy to upset them in the semis. All right. All right. Let's see if you have any more comments, any more questions in the comment section that you have. If not, let's call it a day. Thanks again to everyone who tuned in, who took the time out the last hour. We've been here chatting about football. I'll probably do a video with the Jamaica-Japan game, maybe expectations. Thanks to Georgina. We'll see. Well, he's on penalty duty, so who knows? You never know. And Donnarumma, he's still trying to finalize that PSG deal. So let's see what happens there. But coming into a competition like this, you don't want external factors distracting you. And as a result, I think Donnarumma, he needs to sort that out first and come into the competition fully focused. So, yeah, it is what it is. If Jorginho takes them to the final and they win the final, so be it. Still doesn't change anything because his game hasn't improved at Chelsea. And I can argue that it's because that same Barella that you alluded to was playing next to him, as well as Verratti. So, yeah, your players will basically be making my point for me. All right. Again, folks, thanks again for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so as yet. Have your friends subscribe to the channel, share, like the video. Let's see if we can get the video to 100 likes. Do a transfer live, please. Transfer. Okay. All right. No worries. We'll see what happens with the transfer live. I still have my notifications up for the news coming in as it relates to transfers. But tomorrow is what day? It's tomorrow Wednesday, right? Yeah, I think tomorrow is Wednesday. So we'll see if we can do that tomorrow. We're back here again Monday for Ball Talk. I'll have a very special guest for you guys. This is the platform that we'll be using for Ball Talk going forward. See if we can grow our channel as much as possible. All right. Thanks again, all my friends and my supporters on here. Until next time. All right. Take care. Bye bye.